This is Melanie of Salette from The Secret of Melanie and the Actual Crisis by Abbott Combe, 1906. She says, the church will be eclipsed. At first, we will not know which is the true pope. She doesn't say anything about Sedevacantism. Doesn't say anything about, for 60 years or more, we won't have a pope. None of that. What does she say? The true pope will be eclipsed because at first, we will not know which is the true pope. Meaning there'll be a false pope or false popes, as we have today. Many false popes. You have the Novus Ordo false popes. You have the Palmarian false popes. You got Conclavis false popes. You got the quote unquote Apostles of Infinite Love false popes. Okay? Tons of false popes. And only one unknown, hidden from the world, suffering Pope Gregory the 18th. Okay? Just as prophecy said, would happen. Notice here that the eclipse of the church is not Sedevacantism, but rather the Pope being unknown. Also, the fact that Pope Gregory the 17th's election was hidden for so long, but is being made known to more and more people as time goes on, would explain what Melanie meant by at first, we will not know which is the true Pope, right? But as time goes on, more and more people are becoming aware of the true papacy. And of course, with the age of peace and stuff, the world will actually, become Catholic. Everybody will know who the Pope is, that kind of thing. Like the whole world generally, will know who the Pope is. He'll be a public, visible figure once again. Continuing here. This is a quote. It says, a more detailed explanation of Melanie of Salette's interpretation of the eclipse of the church is given here. The church will be eclipsed. The world will be in consternation. But behold, Enoch and Eli, Eli, filled with the Spirit of God, they will preach with the strength of God, and men of goodwill will believe in God, and many souls will be consoled. They will make great progress by the virtue of the Holy Spirit and will condemn the devilish errors of the Antichrist. Abbé Combe, the editor of the 1904 edition, adds the following note after this paragraph. I have from Melanie that the church will be eclipsed in this sense, that one will not know which is the true pope. 2, for a time, the holy sacrifice will cease to be offered in churches and also in houses, so there will be no more public worship. But she saw that yet the holy sacrifice would not cease. It will be offered in caves, in tunnels, in barns, and in alcoves. Okay? So no more public real mass. And of course, that is taking place right now because the only so-called mass you could go to would be Sedevacantists, Schismatics, and Heretics, SSPX, Schismatics and Heretics, Novus Ordo, Heretics, Conclavis, Schismatics and Heretics, But as far as a real Catholic mass given by a real Catholic priest in communion with the real Catholic Pope, basically impossible to find today. Years ago, on their website, TCW posted different, events and stuff saying there'll be a real mass in this place and, that kind of stuff. But I personally haven't seen them post anything like that for several years now. So as infrequent as real masses were then, they're, I would think, even more infrequent now, and they may be completely just no longer any public masses. It may just be all private, and as it said here, caves and tunnels and barns, that kind of stuff. Sedevacantist and SSPX masses are public. You could go to one right now. You could Google right now, SSPX so-called mass, Sedevacantist so-called mass. You could go to one right now. But if you want to go to a mass with a real priest, a real mass with a real priest, you can't just Google it and find it like that, okay? It's going to be nearly impossible to find one, as prophecy said would take place here. And Melanie gave us basically a fulfillment of the crisis of Salette's prophecy. However, masses given by priests who are in union with the true Pope, Gregory the 18th, are few or non-existent at this time, which is in perfect harmony with this prophecy. Okay? And when I say non-existent, I mean, in a public sense, right? They may be like all private kind of things now, private masses now.